In the days of old, the sorcerers of Riverlong cured the sick and healed the wounded through a great power called Source. But a terrible darkness invaded the land, and Source was forever tainted. The sorcerers who once healed now only destroy, and madness has overtaken them. A few brave Source hunters are all that stand between Riverlon and the dark power that threatens to destroy it. Wherever Source appears, hunters follow.
Rise and shine, Master Source Hunters. The captain wants you up on deck. Hear them calls? Means we're close to shore. I don't ever you go in there, Master Source Hunters. City's full of undead, hungry and out for blood. But you're supposed to investigate that murder, ain't you? They say it's Source that did the Counselor in. Source in a city like Sicil, nowhere safe anymore. Here they are, Captain Sir.
God's blessings on you, hunters. You'll be happy to hear we've reached Sicil. But there's trouble offshore, so we'll have to sail in carefully. Here, have a look. Those are orc ships, and they're blocking our passage. We'll get you as close to the city as we can, and drop you off in the beach. Be wary now. Orcs are on the attack. Undead have closed every route out, and there's a sorcerer on the loose. If we're to get justice for the Counselor, you'll have to keep your wits about you. May the luck of the gods be with you both, Source Hunters.
If I didn't know there were orc ships raiding to the west, I'd mistake this for a placid beach.
At least the orcs make a bit of noise when they attack. It's dark-dealing sorcerers that'll strike with neither warning nor mercy.
Is that a corpse? What's it doing here alone?
What, did you expect it to have an entourage? Can you believe this? The man jumped off a cliff at the behest of some statues, of all things.
Pure madness! How could someone be so utterly naive?
Agreed. Call me...
How did they find us?
Take the stone to the temple. These whelps will be easy to crush.
As you say, Madam Conduit.
Arise, fair dead! Seize upon our enemies!
I need another chance!
These holy rays illuminate your cowardice. Meet your demise!
Their leader said something about escaping with a stone.
Stolen from the... Those thieves were more than petty criminals. Their leader gave life to the dead. What stone could they have been so keen on taking?
We can't well turn away from such an odious show of source. Let's investigate the tomb and see what answers it might reveal.
Indeed.
A stitch in time, eh, my friends? There must be some way to open this. This seems to be broken. There's a mine in the middle of our path.
Someone must have an interest in protecting whatever's kept here.
Better to detonate that mine safely than trip over it myself. This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. I've always heard there's typically more to a king. This seems to be broken.
Myth, or it could be our lucky day.
This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. Well, what's this I've spotted? We made short work of that door, but I don't imagine our weapons would survive such use for long. This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. Look out! I see a trap nearby. This seems to be broken. I've spotted something interesting.
Well, what's this I've spotted?
Raid rocket! A strange sort of pit. There must be a way to disarm it. voices down. My life is
The last thing we
ebbing
need is to
away.
surprise another angry summoner. A stitch in time, eh, friends? On the mend.
As good as a new penny. What's that? I think there are hidden foes ahead. Explosive flames! Back on my feet again.
A stitch in time, eh, friends? Sweet relief. Into the fray once more.
This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken.
This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. Seems to be broken.
Another piece of trash!
Trash is another man's trash.
A living rat dares disturb the slumber of the dead? A thieving fool insults the sanctity of the grave? The bloodstone defiler, where is it? Strange indeed. Robed indeed. Your tricks will not save you from retribution. I suppose you only crept among these sacred tombs for in life. I toil to care for these holy grounds. Run if you like to.
Have mercy on your soul.
Splendor of the Seven!
Meet your demise!
Death never dies, fool. Death in 1,000 forms rules all.
Eternal silence awaits you.
Here lies Master Ragequin's first apprentice, killed by a falling corpse. Here lies Master Ragequin's second apprentice.
This seems to be
killed
broken.
by dying.
For ale. Single malt stuff. Hold it right there, orc scum!
Calm down,
Just hold your tongue, will you, bibius? Can't be too careful. We are sworn to protect Sicil.
So, you're source hunters, are you? And how are we supposed to verify that's true? We can't read, my friend. So for all we know, those papers say you're a polymorph parrot on the lookout for a 2-bedroom birdcage. They don't
You know what? We'll take you two to the wizard. I know he...
Captain, come along. Come, let's have another drink while we still can. To your very good health. And yours. What the hell is happening down there? Oh, what? Bloody horse! Come, let's go back to Reg. The source hunters had their
In the footsteps of the brawler. You were right there.
to hurt. Did you see that? Those orcs had a human commander.
Who was that joker?
How very curious.
Damn traitor.
And how
Where
very
are Phibius
disquiet.
and Junius? Didn't they hear the fight?
Taken before his time, far before his time.
You craven chickens! You cowards here while the
Oh, the Source Hunter! Nice to see these winds are blowing more than beats me. Whatever the cur's incentive to raise, we Legionnaires are loyal servants to... It's these orcs! Now they have beat that rat-faced shaman of theirs, even went to the trouble of launching a fireball at a ship in the... It's hard to say.
Well, lovely day for a swig and a fairly well.
Taken before his time, far before his time.
I like you much better with your guts on the floor.
What's all this ruckus?
Ah, but I see we've suffered another... You're as welcome, so you were, and there we are. Ha ha! No need to look so flabbergasted. I may be a wizard. So, now that the cat is out of the... It's hard to put my finger on it, but I can feel in Captain Aureus, though. The local commander of the Legion insists I'm seeing ghosts. I insist he's blind to all but the undead. So there are. Or rather, there is. She seems a likely candidate, to be sure, but that would make her a sorceress. Esmeralda knows how. Still, don't simply take my word for it, Hunt. Jake was murdered in a downstairs room of the King Crab Inn, up in Sicil proper. The Legion keeps it under lock and key, though, so you'll need Aureus's permission should you want to have a peek. Unfortunately, that is absolutely correct. The Orc siege is... We've cordoned off the western beach where most Orc activity... There's nothing of interest along the waterfront. Except... Oh, but that's not a trick. It's a blessing. What such magic is a gift, Hunter. To tread upon the realm of instinct. Even articulate speech. Perhaps humanity's greater... To be out in the night. To stalk on sight, but of course it's handy to speak in more than meows. And I couldn't brew potions or make machines without opposable thumbs. This I freely... Ah, the undead. They've been The Legion did a good job keeping them at bay, but someone is responsible for the outbreak. Necromancers are human, you say? And yet, I have heard rumors about a sect of sorts. A shadowy set of worshippers that associate even with orcs. Some say they're sorcerers, but people will say that about anyone who behaves a bit... I don't quite know what to make of this news. I'm glad we've met. Once you're there, just take this... And with that,
Sects, undead, orcs. Looks like we have our work cut out for us.
At least we won't be bored. How about we go see that Aureus chap Arlen mentioned?
Come on then, put your backs into it.
Blasted orcs have learned how to play with fire.
One of the orcs is sending another fleet.
We mustn't let the flame spread to the harbour.
I'm drenched.
Our home, our livelihood, all sunk in a matter of minutes. Well, that was a right stunning show of magic you pulled, it was. Wish you'd been around when our own barge went down in flames. With our ship gone, nothing for it but to get a job. Well, we were merchants what seems like a moment ago. With our ship sunk, these bleeding all...
He drove it straight to the pub and back. Sauce? Here in Sicil? Ah, a ship's got a soul too, you know. You did a mighty fine thing saving that barge. For those of us raised in crews instead of families, madness. Thought we were done with those swampy and...
And don't forget the time you got
I don't know how you did that. Hocus pocus. I thought the old gal's fate was sealed.
That would be Legionnaire really thinks that all charm looks it.
Really? The greatest warriors in Rivellon can't cross a rope?
No, he didn't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
Don't forget the time you got crawled past
Steady, boys, steady. We'll be leaving as soon as we're
Salutations! Source hunters, I see. Courteous is my name. The Legion is my calling. This is a storing house for Legion supply.
This place reeks of orc stench. Well, a source hunter. About time the council took...
Avert your gaze, and I'll handle this threat for all our sakes.
She wouldn't hurt a fly, and I won't let you hurt a horn on her head.
Ah, who better than a proven orc crusher?
Enough of that. I know how dangerous an orc can be, but this one has been reformed. Anyone could... My friend here and I were patrolling outside the city walls. Perhaps confused by the butterflies in her stomach, she sprang up and began running, claws bared towards Marius. A vial of love potion shattered over her. I'm sure she must have been...
Ha! I can assure you there wasn't...
Ah, I've always had an amateur interest in all things alchemical. When I sent away for the world-famous love potion, available for a...
You see what a fool my friend has been, spending all his cash on snake oil and bringing a temporarily
What kind of monster would lie in a published advertisement? I'm sure the effects...
You see, he'd believe it was Noonan.
She's got to be put down. If this love potion is as dodgy as it sounds, she could come to her vicious senses at any time.
Agreed. I've never...
Glad to hear I'm not...
No! You bastard! You had no right!
No right to protect not only you from your...
I can't even smell the sea air over this rot.
Steady, boys, steady. We'll be leaving as soon as we're packed up.
The sun is out.
You there! A moment of your indulgence. No, scratch that. It is so much more than a delight. It is... They call the undead a problem, my friend. But those who know the ways of the fabulous five see no problems. They see Mendius at your service. What is my profession? Well, I'll tell you what it used to be, and that is a man of medicine. But what does a man of... Oh, it's not merely an opportunity. It is a once-in-a-lifetime...
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Of course I do. How could someone in my profession not?
The excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Coleman there.
Quite right.
See here.
You and I share the same passion. Too bad your line of work comes with such measly recompense.
Well, I can't say that I...
Yes, some
Indeed. Indeed. Even so, my friend, matters of a pecuniary nature aside, what is life without variety, without spice? To be a source...
There is no shame in following directives if your masters are worthy of your trust.
You'll always stay menial with that attitude.
You disagree with one another. But that proves you are firm-willed, that you have the minds of... And that is exactly... the fabulous five. How I enjoy simply saying the words that describe the most... You'd like nothing more than to enlist, wouldn't you? What a gem of a question. Now then, to join the fabulous five is to join a fellowship, to join a fraternity, a sorority, a community. Of course, should you spread the word, should you by now the genial glow of the fellowship, work hard. Fulfill, of course, of course.
So you're just hanging around the... This fabulous five business sounds too good to be true.
Agreed.
Oh, how frightfully disappointing. How illogical and short-sighted of...
The likes of which I doubt you could even fathom, old friend.
Back, demon! Back, or I'll tell you, it sure does me good to set eyes on another of our order. From Academy... You wouldn't. I trained up in Academy North, after all. We don't... Medora's the name. Retired. Or so the... Heavens hornets! That's quite a story, comrade. See, I'm here on... Well, let's call... There's been an attack there. What they want in Hunter's Edge, I can't say. But it's my responsibility to send... I came south seeking the Legion's help, only to find it tied here in Sicil. They don't have a by the skin of my teeth, comrade. The savages were rounding up villages when one of them activated a tripwire. I managed to wrench free of my captor's grip and flee. Well, comrade, I hadn't I need a contingent I can trust. I've been scouting Sicil for some time now, and I believe I've sussed out sufficient intel. Well, you know the old expression. 2's a tea party, 3's and...
A fantastic plan. With 3 source hunters working in tandem, we'll put an end to all the evils bent against...
Another source...
That's the spirit.
Be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pockets. Sorry, I've run out of signed handkerchiefs. An Alistair keyring, maybe. In any case, make it quick. You're not the only fan who wants some of my time. What do you mean, not familiar? Why? I'm only the most famous wizard this side, and don't forget, I'm the most eminent member of the Fabulous Five. Your interest is piqued, I see. I'd suggest you have a word of warning, though. We only accept the best and the brightest. By those nasty beasts are hardly...
What have we here? Tall as an elf, strong as an orc, but... And my word, what passion burns from your eyes. Already refused to join, but darling, didn't you... how can we... refuse... Away from me now, oh perfect specimen.
Greetings, Source Hunter. Stop right there. Stop right there. Until you...
Greetings, traveler. And may the... You mean you haven't heard? Oh, steel yourself, friend. For your mortal spirit could be forever transformed by following her instructions and becoming initiated into the one way. For this hallowed information,
You must there. Among her she came from on. She showed us that injury and malady need not mark the end of life, but that through her what's in a nay go on the path to.
Greetings, greetings. Oh, you are most welcome in my chamber. Customers rarely find me up here, but I do so aboard that I am. You wouldn't believe. Oh, but let us not discuss. Let us browse and barter.
Ah, hello. I suppose you're here to... It's very tragic news. I am the Duke of...
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the northern caves?
Do I seem like...
Pointless chatter with strangers does... Can I tell you? I suppose I can. And I could. But Why would I? How curious of you to show interest in a lonesome stranger.
Pay the big cheese on your book with a wheel of the good stuff.
Get it while it's fresh. These batches are only hours from the sea.
Actually, I think that's only roast pig.
I needed that.
Good day. I feel better already.
Ha!
My word!
You there! You don't look like someone who's... You there! Take a seat! Prepare to laugh your head off! Cry! That's right, a talking head! I obtained this You see, I was diving in search of a rare medicinal sea herb. I volunteer with the local children's apothecary on weekends. In the shallows around Sicily, though the chest was stuck fast, I had the treasure of... In the hubbub, I lost hold of my prize and watched it sink. Before my mind's eye swam the faces of the many war widows and leprotic, grabbing fast to the hilt of a cutlass that floated by at just that moment. Freeing myself from my wood, it was there, along the rocky beach, that I tripped over this talking head. Strange, isn't it? I am Reginald the Illusionist, purveyor of the most... What a generous spectator! Find a seat in the front, eh?
My word! Talking head? What dark sorcery is this?
My word!
Come on! Come all! And see the amazing singing!
Zombie ate your dog? Orc sunk your ship? Well, I've an open stage in want of talent. The theaters. Check the library and see if any of the classics there interest you.
You there? You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut.
Source Hunter. I know you're probably knee-deep in that orf. We've been conducting a series of expeditions into undead territory, and I'm afraid I must admit they've met with the undead. The bravest among my men and women tell me they are weaker in the west and stronger in the east. So I suggest you head westward if you want to flex your muscles and test the waters before blindly diving to your death. Lieutenant now I said, and that is exactly what your presence in Sicily is, Source Hunter. I shall be very glad to share what information I can give you. It's very sweet of you. Sure, they can tie a knot and blow a whistle like the best of them, but even with a sword in their hands, they wouldn't stand a chance against the undead. And I don't want any... If ever we want to be victorious, 3 landmarks were chosen for further investigation. The lighthouse. There's a lighthouse to the locals say it's haunted, and half a dozen legionnaires have gone to find out. There are ancient burial grounds to be. A local archaeologist. There's a church to the northeast of it. All superstitious mumbo-jumbo, if you ask me. So I did. The Pact of Volunteers. The chances of survival during these sorties are only about 1 in 10, you see. So my soldiers are free to volunteer, and if they are successful...
We've secured the perimeter.
Legion's greetings. I have been informed Jake's murder is, in a word, a tragedy. He was well loved in all of Sicily. The Count so fair a lady, steadfast will I am Septimus. And what question? I've fought orcs, tragedy flocks to this place, like goblin